Good evening, everyone. We begin at our southern border where communities are bracing for the end of Title 42. Despite concern from both sides of the aisle about a massive influx of migrants, the Biden administration is pressing on with the decision to lift the public health rule limiting illegal immigration. Our friend Sara Carter just returned from a trip to the border and she joins us now. Sara, thanks so much for joining us, my friend. What are you seeing at the southern border? Has anything changed?
I got to tell you, Lawrence, I was stunned. You know, I've spent a lot of years covering the southern border. I've never seen it as bad as I've seen it over this past year. And I had an opportunity to actually head out with Texas Department of Public Safety Air Operations Division. This is their fixed-wing aircraft as well as their helicopters that are patrolling about a 500-mile part of the border near Big Bend National Park here in Texas. What I saw was stunning. You know, it used to be in that area of the border that there would be a few people that would try to get over, a lot of drug smuggling, but they were able to narrow it down. Now there is a flood of people, and it's a very, very dangerous area to traverse. There's all kinds of elements. You're not only dealing with rattlesnakes, mountains, the heat, a lot of death in that area for people crossing over, but we're seeing a lot of people cross with camouflage, so they've gotten really good at this. They're wearing camo. They're not turning themselves in to Border Patrol. This isn't the families, Lawrence. These are people that want to get away from Texas DPS, want to get away from Border Patrol, want to make their way to I-90 or I-10 and disappear into the fabric of the United States.
It's truly unbelievable. I want to throw this full screen up here, Sara. This was in the New York Times, and this was Andrea Flores. She just resigned from the Biden administration. She was a director for border management at the National Security Council. She said, in quote, that the opportunities I saw them not take, this is an inflection point. She was stressing her frustration. Sara, has this become a bipartisan issue now?
Oh, it is. It absolutely is. You know, you have Congressman Henry Cuellar here in Texas. He's a Democrat. He's saying, we can't do this. We can't end Title 42. You've got Senator Kyrsten Sinema saying the same thing. You have senior officials inside the DHS whispering and leaking information to warn Americans of how bad this is going to be. Just to put this into perspective, we've had 1.9 million plus people in the last fiscal year. This year already, we're going to reach 1 million in the first 6 months. And if Title 42 goes, Lawrence, we're looking at possibly nearly 3 million people. But those are the apprehensions. What about the people that we don't apprehend? What about the expected 600,000 gotaways? Who's in there? None of these people, by the way, are either being properly vetted. You got to think about it. They're coming from nations and countries where they don't even have functioning governments, where we can't even properly vet them. And the only time we can vet them is when they're here in the United States, if they've been arrested or committed a crime here. So we would have no idea if they committed a crime back in Nicaragua or in El Salvador or in Somalia or in Syria or Afghanistan, or Tajikistan. We're getting people from all over the world. This is becoming, I believe, the biggest national security crisis facing our nation, and our Border Patrol agents, our ICE officers, as well as the Texas DPS, local law enforcement across the country are frustrated, they're angry, and they want the Biden administration to do something, but instead, what it looks like is the Biden administration is making this happen on purpose.
Sara, you've been
and that's pretty frightening.
It is frightening. The morale is at an all-time low, and it should be because the way that the Biden administration has treated those agents that are there on the ground. You've been doing excellent reporting, Sara. Thanks so much for joining the program.